Here's Young. He'll hand to Sanders. And touchdown, Carolina. The Panthers win the game.
It's just like a sting. Just a horrible sting. That's what it feels like after that type of loss, when you put so much onto it. You knew the stakes. You went out there. You gave it all you had. And you came up short. It just stings and it hurts. And it's one of the things that you're supposed to let it.
And the Falcons will go to the offseason 8-9. The final at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Carolina 44 and Atlanta 38.
You'll look back at this season and you'll see a tale of two seasons, where coming out of the gate, it was the offense that was carrying this team.
Gonna throw, caught, touchdown Atlanta, 15-10, Darnell 5. Sails it, Drake there, caught, wide open, touchdown Atlanta. 30,
take it, baby.
20, 15-10. A walk-off for Kaderl Hodge and the Falcons.
And then they went on that slide where it was the defense that really had to keep the team in these games, that was really playing and overextending themselves.
It's hard to dissect, what went wrong? Are they making the same mistakes week after week? Are they not executing at the highest levels? Yes, you could make that statement. I think that's very true.
The main goal is to get to win the division, and we felt very confident of doing that. The low hit when we played the Saints in New Orleans. I think that was the changing point of the season.
I don't know how I'm supposed to feel right now about this team. Do I think we're going to the playoffs still? Deep down in my soul, I do. I think we still are going to the playoffs. But the turnovers.
Cousins sets, throws, intercepted. Derwin James.
Over the last 4 weeks have absolutely killed us.
The final is Minnesota 42 and Atlanta 21. With 13 games in the book, we'll have 4 games left to determine whether or not they are going to be worthy of postseason play. So Bowers, Mayer, and Myers to the far side. Terrace Marshall here to the near side. Ritter on a straight drop now. Up in the pocket, going to hang it for the end zone, and it is intercepted by Atlanta to end the game. So the Falcons snap their 4-game losing streak with a 6-point win in Las Vegas.
I think that you saw a complete shift in what this defense, even to an unexpected shift.
And style in the way that they went into that game on Monday night saying, we can win, we're okay winning this 15-9, even if it's going to be ugly, because maybe that is the best way to win.
When the D-line and the front 7 is feeding off of the back 7 and vice versa, it's just a team ball.
Hand the ball straight ahead, and it got knocked out and recovered by Phillips.
I sat there and had to listen to my coworkers talk about how little pressure this defense could bring, and then after week 13, they really turned it on.
Back up in the pocket, and Atlanta gets to it. Now he'll try and escape, and he'll be sacked again. Knocked down is Meyer. Hammered on the play by Caden
You see
Ellis.
the work that everybody puts in throughout the entire offseason, and even early on throughout the year when maybe the results weren't coming. I think it's one of those things where you just never be too high, never too low. So at the end of the day, the work ethic's been there in the pursuit. It's just a blessing to see that it's coming to fruition.
Now in trouble and sacked.
Hey, the Western Kentucky guy.
D'Angelo Malone.
We're so offensive oriented, right? This is an offensive era, and you're thinking big plays in the passing game. We made enough plays in the passing game. You felt good about Bijan Robinson and the way the offensive line is coming off the ball and playing on the other team's side of the line of scrimmage. Still, you were left wanting because there were a number of short field opportunities you didn't cash in.
I think the interception at the start of the second half certainly was poor. Some of those third downs would have made a big difference in terms of staying on the field and being able to get a field goal or get points. And so, those plays loomed large in terms of leaving points out there. So that's kind of how I view it. I think I do need to play better. I don't think that's a mystery. I think the last few weeks I would say, I need to play better, and so, that's Raheem says it, but it's stating the obvious.
When you are actively giving the ball away and taking those opportunities away from the team at large and having to really rely heavily on the defense, which, to the defense's credit, has picked up in the last 3 weeks.
And when you just kind of don't have that main gear to fall back on with your offense, an offense that has been invested in heavily, it's so hard to do, and it ultimately leads to this decision.
Some breaking news from the Atlanta Falcons organization. Raheem Morris names Michael Penix Jr. the starting quarterback moving forward.
This move was bold, yes, but it also was the right move. And to me, that's all that matters.
You talk, you look at the tape, you go through all the process. Obviously, You know, we got to play better at the position. We want to play better position, and that's what we made the decision to do that last night.
You know, they told me that I was going to be the starting quarterback, you know, for the rest of the season.
Mike is raw talent, and we'll just be practicing, and you'll see a throw like, oh.
Steadfast, constant, and basically everything he does, and it's been like that since he first got here.
He's ready to go, and we've all seen that he's been ready to go, and he's been wanting to be unleashed on the field.
Here is Michael Penix Jr. making his first career start.
I was excited. You know, I was very, very happy. Try not to get emotional, but I was super excited.
Penix from the pocket, crossing route, London the catch, 45-50 and into New York territory.
You know, to be able to come here, you know, obviously playing for Coach Ra and obviously being in Atlanta, you know, it's a great city. It's not far from home, so it was definitely a big excitement for me.
The explosiveness, the athleticism, his arm.
Throws, end zone, it is caught! Kyle Pitts, touchdown Atlanta!
The receivers, you know, you got Drake and Mooney, Ray.
Gunshot downfield for McLeod, Ray hauled it in!
Those are top-notch guys that made a lot of big-time plays. With the guys, you know, in the battle, you know, it's fun. And you know, I feel like there's a lot of things to improve on, but I feel like there's a lot of good things put on tape as well.
Michael gonna zip it again, this time London. He held on, and that's an Atlanta touchdown.
I feel like I've been through a lot of adversity. You know, the game was taken away from me for 4 seasons in a row. So every time I get out there, I just want to have fun because I enjoy being out there.
Good debut for Michael.
Absolutely.
And a good job of the guys playing around him.
This offseason, I'll make sure that I'm locked in and turned into those things and whatever that is, and make sure this next year I come back even better.
It was really interesting, the discourse surrounding the Falcons and outlooking their season when the year started. The duality of a team that clearly has some expectations based on the guys that are on the team, but an organization that's really trying to implement a system and find their way.
Super emotional, especially with the last 2 games being overtime losses with playoff implications on the line. It's super highly emotional because those games can go either way. And if those games go another way, then we are playing in the postseason. That's how close it is. When it comes down to critical moments that we weren't able to finish in, and that, you know, makes it sting much more. But those lessons that we learned in defeat, that is going to continue to push us forward.
What makes a playoff team? It's a whole mental game, and that's just what it is. So yeah, there's going to be a wall in the season that is going to hit. It puts a different perspective on it of like, we didn't even have to be in this situation. We could have handled business a while before here, and then it's like also having the mental capacity, like, all right, this is just what's in front of us. We just have to deal with it and, you know, take advantage of what we have. And I think I just know from not making the playoffs of what it feels like of being on a not playoff team. And when you see those examples, it's like, nope, let's not do that. Let's be on the other side.
The Falcons have, through the course of the last few years, got some of the best young skill position players that were in college and needed a steady hand at quarterback to sort of get the best of them. And we have seen that in its full complement with Drake London, who's having a career year, a breakout year.
End zone, caught, touchdown. Stop and go, take the shot, caught, London, touchdown. Atlanta.
Last game was a perfect example of how great we can be, you know, how we are clicking on all 3 levels, but I think there's another notch we can get to. And just to have that thought is pretty scary.
It's been reliable, not only for Kirk Cousins, but also for Michael Penix Jr., and it's just been amazing to see that. To see Bijan Robinson, you know, utilized in the run game more.
Bijan, some of the things that he does on tape, you know, it's crazy.
Bouncing left, circling all the way to the left side, he'll score!
He just got this nasty cut, and he can change direction so fast and so quickly. He's also a smart player.
Robinson alone, he'll walk into the end zone.
Defensive side of the ball, you know, Jesse Bates, I feel like he's the best person to do it.
He plays fast, and he plays very, very smart, so he's just him at the end of the day.
Intercepted Bates, locked through a pick 6, and Jesse will cruise for the touchdown.
Marquise Williams' group, to me, on special teams, has been maybe one of the biggest growth groups there's been.
Special teams is what it is. It's special. You really get overlooked for it until it's important. It's a game-winning field goal or forced fumble or block punt.
Fifth best at almost 44. That got blocked. It's blocked by Kadarrell Hodge.
You'll ask yourself, do you have all of those pieces? And the answer is yes. Now can you put it together at their full complement for 17 weeks of the year? That's what we need to see next season.
The wait was not long for a defensive coordinator. Raheem Morris and company worked efficiently over the past, call it 7 or 8 days, interviewing a number of different candidates, and they have landed on their guy. Jeff Ulbrich will be the new defensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons. A familiar face, fellas.
Jeff Ulbrich is in New York, and I've got some of the numbers here. They were, over the last 3 seasons, so this is including 2024, first in yards allowed per play. They were first in first downs per pass attempt. They were first in passer rating allowed.
23, they were number 3 overall in defense. They had 27 takeaways, which was 8th in the league that year. They had 48 sacks. You know, in your years, you get better, you get more knowledge. He served as an interim head coach this last year.
Some of my base fundamentals and the principles in which I live by and coach by are still strong and are the same in some ways, but there's been so much growth in so many other ways that guys like AJ Terrell, guys like Grady, who have been here and knew me as the guy 4 years ago coaching linebackers and interim DC. I'd like to think that they're going to see a different coach in front of them. So there's unfinished business here. You know, the fact that we got that close and we didn't get it for ourselves, for this organization, for the city of Atlanta, and it's time we finish the job.
Within the NFL, things change a lot year in and year out, obviously with new faces, but we've gotten a group, a nice culture set here.
I just can't wait to keep on continuing growing with this team because we are still young if you really look at it, and I'm excited for the future.
Your identity is you're going to keep coming regardless of what happens to you. You're not going to quit. You're going to keep coming. And I see a relentless effort by these guys, regardless of what adversity that strikes here and there.
It's all about, being able to have the mental capacity to handle those, 24 games.
You know, obviously it's going to be one day at a time, one step at a time. You know, it's a process, and we're all in. You know, I feel like this team is all in. Where everybody is ready for the change and ready for that process to continue to grow and continue to develop and get better as a team so that we can have those opportunities come in the future.
I think ultimately we are not entering this offseason going, who's on the hot seat? Who's going to throw to these people? I think all of those things have been answered ultimately this year. The future looks really, really bright here, and I think there will be expectations next year to pick up where they left off and really be a force in the division.